Good morning, guys. Today I'm going to share with you how I made this hanging macrame lantern. And I had this idea as I was walking around my thrift store. I came across these glass votive holders. They're round. There was 3 of them and there was 3 different colors, and they're just perfect for this thought that I had in my head. So I picked them up. They were only 99 cents, but it was 50% off day, so I got an even better deal on them. And I came home and whipped up this cute little lantern. It doesn't put off much light, but it's more for just aesthetics, if anything. And the aesthetics are very boho. It's right up my alley. I love doing stuff like this and I love decorating this way, so I figured I would share it with you guys. And if you enjoy this kind of video, I encourage you to stick around because I have 4 other craft projects very similar to this planned out. I didn't start them yet, but they will be coming soon, and some of them are macrame related, some of them are not. So even if you are not into macrame, or you're not good at it, or you're not interested in even trying, that's perfectly fine. There will still be some other things to come. Also, the macrame that I do is super basic, super easy. Anybody can do it. Even if you can't pick it up off of my video, there's millions of videos out there showing you the basic knots, which is all I do. Square knots, and that's pretty much it. So fear not, it's very beginner friendly. So this project is basically the exact same thing as a macrame planter, except instead of using a potted plant, I'm using these glass votives. I understand I can't link these votives below. However, there's other things that you could use. You could just pick up clear glass votives and, you know, do it that way, or scour your thrift stores. There's all kinds of cool things you could use. You could use air plants. You could just use plain glass spheres. That was hard to say. Spheres without any light in them whatsoever, and it would still be really cool looking. So as I said, I got the votive holders from my thrift store, and then I ran to Walmart and got the battery operated tea lights. Fit perfectly inside these votive holders. It's exactly what they were made for. In the tea lights that I purchased, I will try to find them on Amazon and link them below. Also, my macrame cord is 3mm cotton, and I also got that off of Amazon, so that will be linked below as well. And without further ado, let me show you how I created this very boho hanging lantern. Okay, to start this project, I have 4 136-inch long cords, and these are 3mm cotton macrame cording. And then I have one piece that's it's about 65 inches long. So we're going to start by taking our very long pieces and finding the middle and folding them over. And then I'm going to take my extra 65-inch piece, also folded in half, and we're going to place that over the center point there, flip it behind, and put the tails through the loop. Making, I believe, a lark's head knot. I am not a macrame expert, so forgive me for not knowing the names of these actual knots. So the point of this step is to just make the loop that it will be hanging from a little more decorative. You honestly could eliminate this piece altogether, you know, make your loop to hang it on, tie it in a knot, and just leave it like that. But I want mine to be a little more decorative. So now we have it laying like this. We're going to take one of the sides. Trying to get separated here without knocking the camera over. So we're going to take this side, and first we're going to go over these tuck it behind, and pull it through the loop we just made. And then pull it tight. And then we're going to take it and we're going to go under and back through that loop. And pull it tight. So we're basically just making more lark's heads by doing one side then the other. So we're gonna just keep doing that, just going over and through. And then under and through. I'm just going to keep going on this side until I am pretty much out of this tail of rope here. We're going to switch over to the other side of the tail where we started right here. We're going to do the exact same thing going this way, starting with over and then under. And then I'm just going to continue doing this until I have a few inches of these knots. Okay, so this is what I have here, and if I bend it in half, that's going to show me how big my loop is going to be to hang from. And I'm happy with this size, so I'm going to leave it here. I went down one tail a lot farther than the other, leaving this one pretty long. This tail is going to be hidden, and this tail, I'm actually going to cut it and reuse what's left here to do a gathering knot to hold them together. So I'm going to cut it, but I'm going to leave it at least, you know, 2-3 inches long so that the tail will be tucked and secured inside the gathering knot. So taking that extra piece of rope, or cut a new piece of rope if you didn't have any left over, I'm going to fold it in half like so. Leaving the loop towards the bottom. And we're going to take our little bundle here and just lay it on top and hold it with our hands. And make sure that the tail from that loop you're holding is sticking up at the top. And then I'm going to take the long tail and I'm just going to wrap it around securely, but not super tight. And I'm making sure to keep my wraps fairly even. And then I'm going to take the bottom of that tail that I was just wrapping, and I'm going to put it down through that loop. Just kind of hold it for a second, and then take that tail at the top and pull it. And what it's going to do is it's going to knot around that tail, and it's going to slide it up under where I just wrapped it through. Like that. Now everything is nice and secure. I can cut these tails off and move on to the next step. Oh, also something to keep in mind, I made sure that all of my tails were coming out on one side, and this will be the back of the loop when it's hanging. So it'll be hanging like this. You won't see any of the fringe, even though you can't really see it anyway unless you get up close and look to see where they were cut. So this will actually be the front.